What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well today. Before we start, please smash that like button for me. It's been really helping out the past couple of weeks. We're gaining a lot of traction with the views and everything, and I thank you guys for all of your support. We're standing in front of the Lagoon 25 again. Now, I've been getting a lot of viewers asking me for a rundown of how I set up this tank, and I was checking my older videos. I started this tank in April of 2018. The very first video of me obtaining this tank was from Dr. Foster's before they went out of business or merged with Live Aquaria. They had a big sale and they were selling this tank for $200. $200, and it came with the return pump and the 2 nozzles and some filter floss, and I thought that was a deal as my very first rimless tank. Now Dr. Foster's is out of business. You can find this tank at Marine Depot and I think even BRS. It's an innovative marine Lagoon 25. They also throw the word fusion in there, but everyone refers to this tank as the Lagoon 25. If you're on Instagram, check out Drew's Lagoon. He's the guy that inspired me to buy and set up a Lagoon 25. His tank was just packed filled with coral all the way to the top and everything. It was just amazing, and it inspired me to pick up a Lagoon 25. Now, with the tank, I was doing just random videos every time I felt like it, but there's a big playlist of this entire tank if you guys are interested. I'll leave it up in the right hand corner if you guys are interested in checking out all of those old videos where it's like really cringy, how awkward I was talking and stuff like that. But it was way back in 2018, so I didn't realize that we have a lot of new viewers checking out the videos for the first time, and they're thinking of getting into reefing and setting up their own reef tank. And I'm getting a lot of questions of what equipment I'm using and how I set everything up. So I thought I'll take a little time today to give you a rundown of all of the equipment I'm using to run this Lagoon 25 the way it is. Now don't mind the cloudiness, but I was just messing with the media baskets and everything, so it stirred up some junk. Now with the Lagoon 25, we'll just go to the back chambers. So when you get this tank, you're gonna get the return pump, the 2 return nozzles. They're flat. These 2 are aftermarket. They're random flow generators. It's just twirling the water around, so it gives a random effect. But we're gonna go to the back right here. You get some sock filters on both sides, but I did not use them. I jammed both return chambers with biomedia. Originally my tank was bare bottom, so there's no rock to house any of the beneficial bacteria. So I jammed biomedia pond matrix into both chambers. I'm going to turn off the auto top off so we don't kick it off or anything while I pull this out for you guys. So right here, I made my own media basket. I refused to pay for an acrylic one back then. It's like $60 from In-Tank. They make good stuff, but I didn't want to drop that much money. It does not, sometimes it does not make sense where you buy this tank for $200, and then to buy 2 media baskets, it's gonna cost you $120 because it's $60 each. It did not make sense to me at all. So I handmade my own media baskets. What it is knitting mesh. You can find this at Walmart if you want to just go into the store and get it, but you can find this at Amazon. Also, I'll leave a link down in the description, but I used knitting mesh and acrylic yarn to create my own media basket. It goes all the way down and it's filled with pond matrix. Now, I went with pond matrix. I have one piece of, what is this? I forgot what this is called, but I'll leave a name right here. But this whole entire basket is filled with pond matrix, and I attribute it to much of the success that I have with this tank because it's housing a lot of the beneficial bacteria, and both chambers are like that. The tank, like I said, doesn't have rock work and originally didn't have sand at all, so there's nothing to house the bacteria. So those two chambers were packed with pond matrix. Moving to the right, I have a media reactor, a pellet reactor. This is from Innovative Marine. I forgot the exact name, but it's something gadget. I just run the bio pellets to reduce nitrates and phosphates to help control algae. Sorry, but I can't angle this. But right next to it, all crusty, is my auto top off. It's very important if you're setting up a reef tank to have stability with the salinity and everything, because the tank's pretty small. It's like only 25 gallons, and this entire top is like a lot of surface area where you get a lot of evaporation, and with evaporation, it's gonna take away your water, but it's gonna leave your salt and everything behind, and that causes the salinity to kind of swing up and down. Now you can get away with topping this off by hand, but it gets old real quick. So I picked up this Tun's 3755 auto top off. Now at the time I was a noob. I didn't really trust the auto top off, and the selling point with the 3755 was that it has an optical sensor, which is this right here, and then it has a fail-safe analog sensor. So let me turn on the auto top off so you guys can see. So I just kicked on the auto top off again, and then here's the return nozzle. You're gonna see water come in, and the worry is that this optical sensor would fail and the auto top off would just empty your entire jug of RODI water into the tank. That is the main concern. So the selling point with the 3755 is that it has this backup sensor right here, where if this thing keeps going, the water would rise up, and this is just a float. It'll just float up. It'll just float up, and then if you guys can hear that beep, an alarm would come off, and then it would shut the entire system down. Okay, moving across, in the center right here is my lighting. It's nothing fancy, it's just an Ocean Revive. It's a Chinese black box, but I spent a little money to get the Ecotech RMS mount that's made for a XR30, and I just repurposed it for the Ocean Revive. So when you're looking at the tank, it kind of flows together and having that clean look. Now moving to the right, I have a skimmer, but I have not had this turned on for about a year now. It does skim, but you gotta tinker with the air ratio, and at times it's just skimming really wet, and one day I just turned it off and I haven't turned it on since. And because I'm just housing a lot of zoas and pallies, these corals, they like the water dirty and they thrive in dirty water, so I don't know. It probably depends on what you're keeping. The skimmer does work, but you just gotta tinker with it a lot. Moving to the right, I have a Marine Magic algae scrubber. It works really well, but this thing caused my tank to crash. You can see the return pump right here is just in my display. So what was happening was a lot of the uneaten food and gunk and stuff was getting pulled into the scrubber, and it was growing algae and everything, but a lot of that gunk was settling on the bottom of this scrubber, and it just kind of fouled the water, and it caused my tank to crash, and I lost a lot of hammer and torch corals because of it. That's pretty much all the equipment for this side. Over here, if you guys watch my latest videos a couple of weeks ago, I picked up this cheap fan and hooked it up to an ink bird. To have it kick on to cool the tank and heat the tank. Inkbird is in back. I think I could pull it out for you guys, but besides cooling, I have the AI Nano 5 wavemaker right here. It's just on at 15%, pulsing 1 second on, 1 second off. And I forgot to mention in back right here the heater. I have a Neotherm 100 watt heater back there as well. Now, I think that's pretty minimalistic for the equipment. A lot of it I don't think you really need, like the skimmer. If you do routine weekly water changes, I don't think you need the skimmer at all. So panning back right here, so the tank, you just get the tank itself. It's $250, but it didn't come with the stand. Now if you want the stand from Innovative Marine, they're doing something that does not make sense at all, where the stand is where the tank is like $200, but the matching stand they want $400 or $600. That did not make sense to me, so I went to IKEA and I picked up this kitchen cabinet. I think it's called a skeleton or a skeleton, something like that, but it lines up with the tank pretty well, and it looks like it's made for the tank. And in white, you could pick any color you want. On the inside, it helps you keep everything organized as well. Right here, all of the fish fam back then, but up top you could put the shelf all the way up, and it tidies all of the wires up on the top shelf. And right here I have a switch. This is before voice control with Amazon Alexa. The switch right here, I got it off of Amazon. I'll leave a link down in the description, but it gives you 8 slots for all of your power needs, and each plug is a switch, so you can just turn things on and off at will and do your water change. Like right there, I just turned off everything. You just do your water change and then you just turn it back on. I think it just came together real well, and it tidies up all of your wires. Right here I have the controller for the auto top off, and that one right back there was for a J-bow, which I don't use anymore. Just spend the extra money for the AI Nano 5s. You'll be much happier with those. With the J-bows, I initially liked them, but then one by one they started breaking after a year. So after you buy another one, I feel like you're just wasting money. Just do it the right way and just buy the legit stuff in the first place. Down here I have the auto top off reservoir. top this off and fill it with calc. There's a return pump in there. It comes with the Tuns 3755 auto top off. Besides that, that's pretty much all I got for this tank. It's a pretty simple build. I think just stuffing the 2 chambers with pond matrix and having all of that beneficial bacteria in the pond matrix like really helped me out with maintaining and keeping this entire tank stable. That and the auto top off. The light's just a cheap Chinese black box, and I set it to channel 1 is 28 and channel 2 is 12, so I don't even have it on 100%. I just set it to that and set the time and just left it alone, and it's been running like that for the past 2 years. Alright guys, that's pretty much a rundown of the equipment I'm using. If you guys have any questions, please leave a message down below or hit me up on Instagram. I'll be glad to help you guys out. Alright, that's all I have for today. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.